Milkman. He'll be hitting 8th, and Jesus Mariaga, the right fielder, he will be batting 9th. And Matty, maybe you could run down the West squad for us.
Absolutely, going to be a great battle, and as you mentioned, awesome home run derby last night. It's been awesome all-star festivities here from Franklin Field. Let's break down the West lineup that will oppose the East. Leading off and playing center field, Evan Alexander from the reigning champion Fargo Moorhead Redhawks, who have plenty of representation here at Franklin Field. Hitting second and playing third, Matt Lloyd of the Sioux City Explorers. In the third spot, Chris Herman, the Kansas City Monarchs backstop. Nick Anderson batting cleanup and playing left field from the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Out in right field is Darnell Sweeney, who is replacing Max Murphy, who was voted in as the starter from the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Unable to participate was Murphy, so Sweeney gets the call in right field. Then at the designated hitter spot, batting 6th, is Dylan Rosa, who's actually now a member of the Chicago Dogs in the East Division, but he was formerly of the Kansas City Monarchs, so he is sticking with the West team in their starting lineup. Batting 7th and playing second base is Justin Wiley, also of the first place Kansas City Monarchs. In the 8 hole, playing first base is the Sioux Falls Canaries first baseman Mike Hart, and rounding it out, batting 9th, is Drew Devine, the shortstop from the Lincoln Salt Dogs.
A couple of key players that some of the fans might want to keep an eye on for tonight's game. Brian Torres, the second baseman for the East, leadoff man for the East, and also perennial leadoff man for the Milwaukee Milkmen, having another tremendous season. Brian, the league's leading hitter at .355. He led the American Association last year in batting average at .374. Looks like he is right on pace again to have another great season. He's the guy who makes the Milkmen offense go, and he'll be leading off for the East tonight.
Absolutely, and a guy who Milkmen manager and the East Division manager Anthony Barone has said repeatedly is the best player in the American Association in Brian Torres. So a guy we certainly want to highlight from the East Division. But we'll also go to the West, and a player to highlight in that third spot, Chris Herman of the Kansas City Monarchs is certainly a candidate for Player of the Year early on in this season. Again, the backstop for the Kansas City Monarchs. Monarchs have 2 catchers here with Gavin Collins as well. But Herman, a former major leaguer in his first season in the league, has been up amongst the top 3 in the top 3 categories, the Triple Crown offensive categories. He's been towards the top of all 3 of those in the league all season long. So in that 3 hole for the West Division, he had some travel struggles getting here, but still took part in the home run derby and put on quite a show last night. So certainly a player to watch, Chris Herman in the West Division.
And taking a look at tonight's starting pitchers, on the East side, you have Christian Young, the ace of the Milkmen staff so far this year. Christian having an outstanding year. This is his 3rd year with the Milkmen, 3rd year in the league. It seems like, man, he's putting it all together this year. He had a stretch earlier this year of 5 consecutive games where he pitched at least 6 innings, allowed 0 runs in 4 of those, only 1 in the other one, and 3 hits or fewer each of those outings. So really an outstanding stretch there, and he's been great so far this year. And on the other side, we have arguably the greatest starting pitcher in American Association history, Kevin McGovern.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, on Young, as you mentioned, he's really had a breakout this season in his 3rd year with the hometown Milkmen, formerly a more relief arm, and now has fully transitioned into the ace of this staff. And yeah, on the West side, Kevin McGovern in his 11th season in the American Association, quite wild to say, up amongst the all-time leaders in many pitching categories as well, and having another great season. He's certainly a strikeout-heavy pitcher and a great left-handed arm and a great, really, ambassador of American Association baseball. So it's great to see him here starting the game for the West Division. And also, he's going to serve as the pitching coach for the West Division. And what better pitching coach to have once he's done with his inning or 2 to start the game. So quite the pitching matchup. We have 2 very well-deserving arms.
Yeah, we have the American Association Hall of Fame inductions, the class of 2023 today. I got a feeling, Matt, that Kevin McGovern is going to be one day
Absolutely
headed to the American Association Hall of Fame.
Certainly's got a great chance.
So that sets the stage for tonight's 2023 American Association All-Star Game here from Franklin Field. We'll come back with more right after this.
from Franklin Field in Franklin, Wisconsin. It's the 2023 American Association All-Star Game. The East against the West. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Tom Wynn, along with Matt Yazel, bringing you all the play-by-play action here from tonight's All-Star Game. Of course, we were here last night for the Home Run Derby, which was won by Cleburne's Zach Narrier. Zach returning to Franklin Field, back from his season with the Milkmen in 2020. And he ended up winning it, defeating Connor Panis of the Lincoln Salt Dogs in the final by the final of 16-14. But I thought, Matt, a pretty good show the fellas put on. Narrier emerging amongst the group that included Milkman's Campbell Lego, Josh Altman of Chicago, Hill Alexander from the Railroaders, Nick Anderson from Lincoln, Chris Herman from Kansas City, Connor Panis, as I mentioned, from Lincoln, and Vince Fernandez from the Sioux City Explorers. But really kind of kicked off our all-star festivities here in a great fashion. And tonight now we got the all-star game. Beautiful weather here in Franklin, and should be another great show here tonight for the fans.
Absolutely. What a wonderful event this has been for the American Association and, of course, the hosting Milwaukee Milkmen here from the beautiful Franklin Field and the Ballpark Commons campus. It's been an incredible, really, celebration of the top talent in this league, as well as the amazing facilities around the Ballpark Commons campus in Franklin. And what a show those guys put on last night in the Home Run Derby. I think everybody in the crowd seen, and at the Hall of Fame luncheon today, you got to hear a lot of what the Hall of Famers thought of what they saw, and everybody was really, really impressed with just the pure raw baseball talent that was on display, and can't wait to see what we have in store tonight for the All-Star Game.
4 Hall of Famers inducted into the American Association Hall of Fame, which began last year. We had our first inductee, the legendary Miles Wolff, the founder of the American Association. He was the first and only inductee in last year's ceremony, the first one into the American Association Hall of Fame. This year we have 4. We'll talk about the inductees, but a great group that will now join Miles Wolff in the American Association Halls of Fame. We want to mention that tonight's broadcast is directed and produced by Vertec. Vertec elevates your broadcast by supplementing your production staff with experienced switchers and operators. The graphics you see on our broadcast are powered by Verch's all-new graphics engine, offering advanced stats and personalized graphics on a budget. Visit www.verch.co to give your fans the next-gen viewing experience. And so we are just about set to go with the start of tonight's contest. It'll be right-hander Christian Young from the Milwaukee Milkmen, the ace of the Milkmen's rotation so far this year. And he'll be facing Evan Alexander, the center fielder from the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks, to get it started. The sign from the catcher, Roy Morales, from the Milkmen, and swing and a miss, and we are underway. Game time temperature, a beautiful 78 degrees. The wind coming out of the southeast, not real strong, but enough blowing out toward that left field corner that'll help any balls hit that way. Alexander cuts and fouls back, and he's in the hole 0-2. Evan, now in his second year with the Red Sox after coming up through the Yankees organization, hitting .324 this year with a .946 OPS, 7 homers and 22 driven in. Christian Young, the native of Western New York, delivers a pitch inside. Christian now in his 3rd season with the Milkmen, and he's off to an excellent start this year. 6-3 with a 2.73 ERA. Breaking ball just a bit low. Our umpires for tonight: home plate umpire Neil Turner, first base Reggie Drummer, second base is Mayu Edwards, and the third base umpire Tom Swoboda. Normally 3 umpires for the regular season, but for the All-Star game we've got 4. Swing and a miss, and Christian Young gets it started by striking out Evan Alexander. Of course, the hometown fans here, Franklin Field, enjoying that. Franklin Field, the Shrine of Bovine. Bovine heading a group of 6 league mascots that are here tonight, Matt. So we've got half the league mascots on hand, and
3 on each division as well.
Yep.
Great representation. I think I've heard of a Facebook group among the mascots or some sort of organization. So great work from the mascots and the teams around the league organizing that. Been a hit amongst the kids here in Franklin.
Oh, no question about it. Matt Lloyd, the third baseman, steps in, takes a strike. Lloyd, a Canadian native, having an outstanding season. 353 with a 1059 OPS. He rips this one to right field, and that is down and up against the wall, trying for 2. Here's a throw by the right fielder, Mariaga, and he is out! What a throw by Jesus Mariaga with the shortstop Josh Altman covering. Bang, bang play at second base, and Matt Lloyd is gunned down. 9-6 for the second out of the inning.
How about that? What a throw. Out of the box. Certainly thought he had a double right away. But what a play from Mariaga out and right. Tends to happen in All-Star games right away. These players come out, they're excited, ready to play. You saw in the MLB All-Star game this year, there were 2 highlight plays right away in the top of the first. We got the same thing here.
Absolutely. Here is Chris Herman, the catcher. Chris from the Kansas City Monarchs. One of the significant offensive performers in the league this year, hitting .341 with a 1047 OPS, 15 homers, 59 driven in. Big cut, and he fouls it back. Chris, a former big leaguer, spent all or parts of 8 seasons in MLB, nearly 400 games during his career. And as I said, he has been a major impact player for the Comets this year. Swing and a miss. And Christian Young strikes him out on a beautiful curveball. That retires the side, so Christian Young puts him down in order. In the top of the first, we go to the bottom of the first. It's the West All-Stars nothing. The East All-Stars come.
New Balance, we got now.
New Balance, we got now.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool.
We move to the bottom of the first in the American Association All-Star game, and it is the leadoff man for the Milwaukee Milkmen. Leading off for the East Division, Brian Torres, the second baseman. Brian, the league's leading hitter at 355. 4 homers, 34 batted in. Facing the southpaw, Kevin McGovern, the all-time winningest pitcher in American Association history. Kevin, 68 and 45 for his career, which dates back to the 2014 season when he broke in with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. That one fouled down at the plate by Torres. Actually looks like a double hit that hit the end of his bat after he fouled it down. But, boy, what a career that this guy has had, Matt. Set the all-time league strikeout record as well last season, and he's just been one of the prime performers in this league for a long time. Curveball inside to make it 2-2. And as I mentioned in the pregame show, I don't think there's any doubt he'll be headed for the American Association Hall of Fame someday.
Year number 11 for McGovern, and what a representation of this league. Really a great ambassador for the league as well.
That one hit to right center, and it'll drop in there for a base hit. Evan Alexander coming over to get it one hop. Perfectly placed that time by Brian Torres between Alexander, the center fielder, and the right fielder, Darnell Sweeney. So Brian Torres aboard to get it started for the East Division here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up the center fielder, Zach Nerrier. Well, Nerrier has already had a great all-star break as he won the home run derby last night. Got a pretty impressive home run belt out of it as well, I have to say. And the pitch a bit outside from McGovern. Kevin McGovern this year 6-4 with a 3.37 ERA for the FM Redhawks. Kevin now in his 4th season with the Redhawks, as Matt mentioned, his 11th overall. There goes Torres running to second, and he will be safe. Throw down by the catcher Herman with the second baseman Justin Wiley covering.
Brian Torres doing what he does best, getting on base with a base hit. Of course, leading the league in batting average, as you mentioned, just like he did a year ago, and stealing a base as well, making an impact with his legs.
Torres topping the league with 41 steals. Coming into the All-Star break, here's a little tapper towards second. Wiley's got it. Throw to first in time to get the hustling Zach Nerrier. Torres will move up to third base. 1 out on the 4-3 ground out by Nerrier. Zach, by the way, came in hitting .281 with 11 homers and 56 driven in. Zach, number 2 in the league as far as RBIs go, behind Kansas City's Chris Herman. Okay, here's Josh Altman, the shortstop. Josh from the Chicago Dogs. And takes a first pitch for a ball. 297 with 15 homers, 53 driven in. Josh, another guy who has had a great season, among the league leaders in home runs and RBIs, and also was among the league's batting leaders to start the year as well. Count even at 1-1. McGovern, the veteran out of Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Although it wasn't called that when he was there, Chief. I believe it was Philadelphia University, later changed to T&JU. But Philadelphia native, and we've seen him many times. He knows what he's doing out there for sure. Pitch down low. Got Roy Morales in the number 4 spot. Roy, another hometown player here with the Milkmen. And a little soft line drive up the middle, fielded by the second baseman Wiley. He throws out Altman. However, Torres comes home to score from third. It's an RBI ground out for Josh Altman, and the East takes a 1-0 lead. So he's getting on the board here in the first inning. That was kind of a weird, kind of a change-up line drive back at McGovern, and but a good play by Wiley behind him to get the out.
That stolen base coming through for the East as well by Brian Torres. He advances to third on the ground out by Nerrier, and another ground out brings him in to score. That's just great, good baseball right there by the East Division.
So that'll bring up Morales. Base is empty, 2 down. Roy hitting .328 with an .841 OPS, 4 homers, 37 driven in. Breaking ball outside, first year with the Milkmen, third year in the American Association. And this guy has shown, Matt, he can hit no matter where he is, who he's playing for. Always seems like he's up around 300, bouncing ball right side. Wiley's got this one, and he's going to have all 3 assists in this inning. Leadoff single by Torres, stolen base, and eventually scores on the ground up by Altman. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the second. It's the East 1.
Hey, you! Can we come together?
New Balance, we got now.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool. Now we can easily assign chores and the kids get paid for them right away. We can track their earning and spending and even reward them for making good grades all through our phones. So they're learning valuable financial lessons and I'm getting a clean house.
Learn more about the Mind and Money tool at ECU.com.
Escape to the world's largest illuminated winter wonderland right here on the campus of Ballpark Commons this holiday season. Enchant is coming to Franklin Field, a wondrous light maze adventure featuring the world's largest story-driven light maze, a one-of-a-kind skating trail, Santa visits, and more. Enchant, a spectacular multi-sensory light experience that will transport you to a world of holiday wonder. Get your tickets now because they will sell out. Visit enchantchristmas.com.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Rider chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Top of the second of the 2023 American Association All-Star Game. 1-0 the East leading after they pushed across a run in the bottom of the first. And a new pitcher on. It will be right-hander Ryan Zimmerman. So Christian Young, the starter, a perfect first inning with a couple of strikeouts. And now he yields to his Milwaukee Milkmen teammate Ryan Zimmerman for the second frame. He'll be facing Nick Anderson from the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Anderson, normally a center fielder, but he's playing left field tonight for the West. He's had a good season. 3rd year in the league, 276, 15 homers, and 43 driven in. It's this one deep to center field. Drifting back. Zach Nerrier makes a catch. Zach in somewhat familiar territory, played for the Milkmen back in 2020. And I'm sure just in your brief time with this league, Matt, on the whip around, you've seen the highlights of Zach Nerrier in center field for Cleburne. This guy got a big-time defensive presence.
Oh, yeah, and I think he has developed offensively as well, it seemed, year after year. Last year he had a career year, and now this is his 4th year in Cleburne, and he's continued to just really excel at the plate as well. But to your point, defensively, he's always been solid. I had the opportunity to talk to Zach for our AA Now podcast a few weeks ago as well, and I think yesterday he really showed off not only the type of talent he is, but just the type of person he is as well. Both, after the game, talking to the crowd. I think he's really excited to be here, and just great ambassador for our league. I'll use that line a few times, for our All-Star game, because these guys are what make this league what it is, and he's at the top of that list.
I would agree with you there. And, of course, still a lot of the fans have fond memories of him when he played for the Milkmen and helped them to win that championship in 2020. He was the MVP of the championship series that year. It was just a one-round best of 7 against the Canaries, Milwaukee against Sioux Falls.
as the Canary Darnell Sweeney is at the plate. Very fitting.
Darnell, a former big leaguer, total of 39 games in MLB between Philadelphia and Toronto, mostly with the Phillies a few years back, and multiple All-Star now in the American Association. 278 with 13 homers, 34 driven in. Used to play with Kansas City, and now with Sioux Falls. Been a great pickup for the Canaries. And check swing, going to cost him. Ryan Zimmerman with a strikeout. So Ryan Z, another member of that Milkman starting rotation, the native of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. 6th season in the league, his 3rd with the Milkmen. And he's having another fine campaign, among the league leaders in victories with 6 so far this year. Talked with Ryan's parents, who were in town visiting for the All-Star break. Was great to see them. They've been down here before, but I got to believe that kind of special when your son's playing in an All-Star game.
Absolutely. I was going to bring up at some point, I got to talk to Mark Karaviotis' father earlier today.
Ground ball is short. Altman's got it. Throw across. And in time, great scoop by the first baseman, Cambalego, to take care of Dylan Rosa. And that will retire the side. So Ryan Zimmerman retires the side in order. That's 6 up and 6 down for the West so far. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's still.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool. Now we can easily assign chores and the kids get paid for them right away. We can track the earning and spending and even reward them for making good grades all through our phones. So they're learning valuable financial lessons, and I'm getting a clean house.
Learn more about the Mind and Money tool at ECU.com.
Escape to the world's largest illuminated winter wonderland right here on the campus of Ballpark Commons this holiday season. Enchant is coming to Franklin Field, a wondrous light maze adventure featuring the world's largest story-driven light maze, a one-of-a-kind skating trail, Santa visits, and more. Enchant, a spectacular multi-sensory light experience that will transport you to a world of holiday wonder. Get your tickets now because they will sell out. Visit enchantchristmas.com.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
We're out of chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry. My cousin's got a guy.
Bottom of the 2nd. East leading the West 1-0. New pitcher on for the West. It's the right-hander Solomon Bates for the Sioux City Explorers. He'll be facing Hill Alexander, Mark Karaviotis, Blake Taberry, 5, 6, and 7 in manager Anthony Barone's all-star lineup. Anthony Barone managing the East. Anthony, the hometown manager from the Milkmen, also guided the Milkmen to the top of the East Division here in the first half. And Chris Coast, manager of the FM Redhawks, the defending league champion FM Redhawks. 1-2 the count now to Hill Alexander. Hill, the DH, hitting .294, 14 homers, 46 runs batted in. He was one of our participants in the home run derby last night. And Solomon Bates having a breakout season here with the Sioux City Explorers, one of the top pitchers in the league. Tops the league in wins, strikeouts, breaking ball just a bit wide.
Yeah, you check out that strikeout leaderboard. You see Solomon Bates at the top with 93. Then you look at second place, who has 72. So he leads the strikeout category by 21. What a season for Bates, who was in the bullpen for Sioux City last year, as Hill Alexander draws a leadoff walk. But it's been incredible to watch. I think electric is the word I think of whenever Bates comes onto the mound. He's really had some incredible stuff this season.
He has had a great transition. Okay, here's Mark Caraviotis, another one of the Railroaders. 284, 10 homers, 44 RBIs. Also leads the league in doubles with 20 this year for the Hawaiian native. Fly ball deep to left, got it up in that wind, and this one's going to go! Mark Caraviotis with a 2-run shot, and the East leads it 3-0.
That ball went past the scoreboard. Oh, my goodness. Following up on his Cleburne teammates who took part in the home run derby last night. What a shot from Mark Caraviotis.
Well, and I know he's got some fans following very closely here in the stands tonight.
Yeah, I mentioned I got to talk to his dad, Rich Caraviotis, who came here from Maui, Hawaii. Mark is a native of Kiwi, Hawaii as well. Quite the trip, and he got his money's worth coming all the way here. Mark Caraviotis sends a blast out to left, and what a season it's been. It's Blake Tiberi at the plate now, the Lake Country Dockhounds third baseman, but what a season it's been. After returning from shoulder surgery, the former King County Cougar, Mark Caraviotis, suffered a pretty nasty shoulder injury with the Cougars and wasn't really involved much last season, but he has broken out once again this year in Cleburne. It's really a great story to see.
Great story, and just fantastic. He was able to bop one out for his dad coming all the way from Hawaii to see him play.
And, you know, they have to travel plenty being down in Cleburne. He said he's been down to Texas a few times and really traveled around. He watches every game. He watches my Whip Around show. Is how he recognized me. So big fans over there in Hawaii. So really cool to see the support there.
Yeah, that is awesome. As Tiberi hits a fly ball toward left center, and moving over to make the catch, Evan Alexander. He and Nick Anderson, the left fielder, converging there. And Evan puts it away, first out in the inning. Blake Tiberi, the third baseman, having a fine year with the Lake Country Dockhounds, the former Louisville Cardinal, hitting .330 with 4 homers and 21 driven in this year. One down, nobody on, 2 runs in for the East. They lead it 3-0, and here's the first baseman, Cam Bellego from the Milwaukee Milkmen. Cam, the Pittsburgh native, takes first pitch for a strike. 286, 9 homers, and 40 runs batted in. He leads the Milkmen in those latter 2 categories. Another participant in last night's home run derby, swing and a miss. And he's in the hole, 0-2. Cam, a versatile guy who can play anywhere. Catcher, first baseman, third baseman. He's also played second base and shortstop for the Milkmen. And strike 3 called, Solomon Bates at 94, painting that one on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. He catches Bellego looking there. Cam doesn't strike out all that much, only 28 times in the regular season. So 2 down, and that'll bring up the right fielder Jesus Mariaga, the Colombian native, at 289. 5 homers, 43 driven in for the Gary South Shore Railcat. Hits a fly ball toward right center field. And moving over to make the catch is Darnell Sweeney, and that retires the side. So after a walk and a home run, Solomon Bates puts him down in rapid succession after that. 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the third. It's now the East 3, the West nothing. This is the American Association All-Star.
Rider chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry. My cousin's got a guy.
Hey, I'm not sure I can help you with the house gas, but I can help you replace this window fast.
Let the experts at Feldco kickstart your summer with 2-for-1 windows and no interest until 2025. Plus, we'll get it done Feldco fast.
2-for-1 windows won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Wouldn't you like to be sitting on the beach right now, toes in the sand, listening to the waves crashing on the shore while the sun goes down? Or what about cruising the world with your own private balcony, feeling the wind kiss your face? What are you waiting for? There's no time like the present. Give Pioneer Travel a call to book your next vacation. 414-304-5558 for Oak Creek's Hometown Travel.
Three 0 the East on top of the West as we begin the top of the third. New pitcher on for the East. It is the right-hander from the King County Cougars, Tyler Beardsley, I should say. Swing and a miss by Justin Wiley. Wiley, the second baseman for the Kansas City Monarchs, hitting in the number 7th hole.
Beardsley third in the league in ERA, 2.89 clip. The leader among the Kane County trio, who has been outstanding in their rotation this year.
Yeah, featuring Jack Fox and Weston Muir, who we will probably also see on the mound tonight for the East. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Justin Wiley. Justin, not an easy guy to strike out. Only 32 strikeouts to go along with 37 walks during the regular season. It's rare these days you see a guy who walks more than he strikes out, hitting .283 with 5 homers, 23 RBIs, but Beardsley gets him there. Now facing Mike Hart, the first baseman from the Sioux Falls Canaries.
Big swing he took there on the first pitch.
Beardsley at 93 with that fastball. Inside 1-1. Hart, the former UMass Minutemen, long-time player now with Sioux Falls in his 5th season, .276 with 11 homers and 36 driven in for the Canaries' first sacker. Can also play in the outfield. Tyler Beardsley 4-4 with a 2.89 earned run average, as Matt Yeselmanson third in the league in ERA behind the Milkmen's Gregory Vasquez at 2.46 and Christian Young at 2.73. Fly ball to left field. No problem there for Mark Karaviotis. 2 down. The West is still looking for its first base runner. 8 straight retired by East Division pitching. And basically it's just going to be 1 inning for each member of the pitching staff. Unless perhaps we go extra innings or something. There's a pitch for a strike to Drew Devine, the shortstop. Drew, former star at Western Michigan University. 305 with 5 homers, 22 coming in for the Lincoln Salt Dogs shortstop. Wearing number 4 on the back of his jersey. Number 4 is a hallowed number in Milwaukee baseball circles. Paul Molitor, great Hall of Famer for the Brewers back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s before he moved on to Toronto and then Minnesota. There's a pitch down low. Breeze blowing out toward the left field corner. So more across than out, but like we said, if you get it up there, it'll help it. Swing and a miss. And Tyler Beardsley strikes out Drew Devine to end the third. Another perfect 1-2-3 inning for East Division pitching. Beardsley.
Oh! I said it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes off. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I like the way you do that right there, right there. Switch your hips when you walk and let down your hair, down your hair. I like the way you do that right there, right there. Make your lips when you talk. talking, that make me stir. Wide open, streets so much, they call up in the ocean. Like a 18. She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on. With my earth and the wind, smoke a fire. Let me get your sheets wet, listening to Keith Sweat.
Brian Torres leads off here in the bottom of the third for the East All-Stars, leading the West 3-0. Torres with his second AB had a single the first time up. He bloops one into short right center, and it's going to be caught by the center fielder, Evan Alexander. Looked like it might have a chance to drop in there at first, but Evan Alexander able to haul it in. You've got Evan Alexander playing for the West, Hill Alexander playing for the East. Jalen Miller is our new pitcher from the Kansas City Monarchs. And here's Zach Narrier, the number 2 man in the batting order. 4-3 ground out the first time. Let's send it down to Chief, Christian Yeager. He's got a special guest down in the field. All right, thanks, Chief. And meanwhile, Zach Narrier, a strikeout victim against Jalen Miller. So nobody on, 2 down. Here is Josh Altman, the shortstop. Josh 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base. Cut on and missed. 3-0, the East Division leading here in the bottom of the third, as Jalen Miller, the third pitcher used by the West. Again, looks like each team is just going to go 1 inning per pitcher here. Opportunity for everybody to show their stuff and yet save their arms for the rest of the season. Swing and a miss. Jalen Miller at 92 blows one past Josh Altman. So Jalen Miller from the Kansas City Monarchs finishes up with a couple of Ks as he retires the side in order. First time tonight the East has gone down 1-2-3.
Auto Designer Kids Package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams? I just scheduled my telehealth eye exam easily on their website. Once in store, a tech helps get me started and then pre-checks my eyes. See my eye on the screen? Then I have my telehealth eye exam virtually with a licensed optometrist on the TV.
Everything looks great, Kate. You're going to love your new prescription.
Ask about our $69 eye exam. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Our house or yours, Doghouse Ballpark Commons always delivers. And check out this month's limited time offer, the Americana Sausage. Order now at doghouse.com.
West, nothing in the American Association All-Star Game. And to take you through the next couple innings, here's Matt Yazel.
Thanks, Tom. New pitcher on the hill for the East. Gary South Shore Railcats right-hander DJ Wilkinson, our first reliever of the All-Star Game. First pitch to Evan Alexander is outside for ball one. Wilkinson, 6'5", big right-hander from Monticello, Florida. Played his college ball at Florida A&M University. 1-0 pitch to Alexander's hit on the ground over to Torres. The spin and the throw to first is offline, off the glove of his teammate Bellego, and Alexander's going to reach.
So he's the first batter to reach. Check that. Second batter to reach.
First actual base runner.
First actual base runner.
Matt Lloyd, who's coming up to the plate, was thrown out trying to stretch a single.
Right. So we'll have to see how they score that. That was not a routine play for Torres. And Alexander, of course, with excellent speed, but I think a good throw probably would have got him, but, you know, that's always much easier to say up here than down on the field.
So Matt Lloyd steps to the plate, runner on, nobody out. First pitch up high and away. Wilkinson, been one of the better relievers in the league this season. Nearly 30 innings pitched on the season, 245 earned run average, averaging well over a strikeout per inning. The 1-0 to Lloyd, outside ball two.
And they will give Alexander a base hit there. It would have been a very close play for sure. Alexander can fly down that line. He's got 20 steals this year. Let's see if perhaps he might be going in motion.
Second hit of the night for the West Division. The 2-0. Alexander goes. The throw is not in time. Evan Alexander puts himself in scoring position with nobody out.
Good throw by Roy Morales right on the bag, but just a touch late to get Evan Alexander. And so Chris Coast managing the West. Of course, he's Alexander's manager with the Redhawks. Not afraid to send him there.
2-1 pitch is fouled away by Lloyd, evening the count. You know, in an all-star game, the light is green all night for the stolen base.
Yeah,
trying to put on a show here at Franklin Field, and the West Division's got to make something happen here. Down 3-0 already in the fourth. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matt Lloyd. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove, and Wilkinson's got himself a strikeout for out number 1.
6th strikeout for East Division pitching so far. DJ Wilkinson, 3-2 with a 2.45 ERA this year, working exclusively out of the bullpen, 26 appearances, 8 saves for the Railcats in 29 1/3 innings, 15 walks, 38 Ks. So he's had the strikeout ball working for him pretty well this year.
Chris Herman at the plate now, takes one low for ball 1. Kansas City Monarchs catcher 0 for 1. He struck out in his first plate appearance. And one of the big stories last night during the home run derby, and this was circling around on Twitter as well, is Chris Herman had quite the journey to travel here to Milwaukee as he swings and misses that one for strike 1. He had a flight canceled, and his luggage was also lost, unfortunately, but he did make his way here. It was a question of whether he would make it for the home run derby or not, but on 3 hours of sleep, he participated in the home run derby last night as he swings and misses that for strike 2. And he put on a show. He made it to the semifinals, and he was crushing balls out to the Terrapin Terrace out there in right field. So certainly a tip of the cap to Chris Herman for toughing through that and putting on a show for the great crowd we had here last night. Check swing at that one. They say he did not go. The count's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's a reason why he played in the big leagues for 8 seasons. Some pretty good mental toughness shown there by Chris Herman. No complaints. Got a few hours sleep, and he was ready to go.
2-2 pitch coming from Wilkinson. Runner at second, 1 down. High and outside. It counts full. Exhaustion was a big theme of the night last night when I got to do the interviews after each round. That home run derby is taxing on those hitters. Full count pitch to Herman is just high and outside. Herman draws a 1-out walk.
So we got the tying run coming up in the person of Nick Anderson, the cleanup hitter from the Lincoln Salt Dogs. But, you make a good point, Matt. As I told Plenty, you go out and swing the bat as many times as you can, as hard as you can for 2 minutes and see how you're doing stamina-wise.
With one, I believe, 45-second break.
Right, right.
First pitch to Nick Anderson is high for ball 1. Anderson flew out deep to center field his first time up. 15 home runs on the season for Anderson and a tie for second among active players in the league. Jose Sermo unable to participate as Evan Alexander is going to steal third base without a throw. Great jump there from Alexander, and he's got 2 stolen bases.
Chris Herman staying at first, and again, I don't know if Chris saw the sign. First of all, you're staring into the glare from first base, so that's not the easiest to see, the third base coach anyway.
Anderson on the ground, foul, strike 2. Anyway, Jose Sermo had his contract transferred to the Mexican League. That is why he is not here at the All-Star game, was voted as the starting first baseman. He ended his season with 17 home runs, which is still the top in the league. 1-2 pitch coming to Nick Anderson. Good take. That one misses outside.
By the way, Chris Coast managing the West All-Stars, coaching third base, a catcher during his playing days, but showing some pretty good hands down there in that third base coach's box.
Coast's playing career came up a lot today. Of course, his former manager, Doug Simonik, entered into the American Association Hall of Fame as that one skips by Morales, and Alexander is going to come in the score. The first run for the West Division.
I think it'll be a wild pitch. It was low into the turf, and Alexander coming in to get the first run of the night for the West. Chris Herman also moving up to second base. So DJ Wilkinson having a bit of a tough time here, trying to get his pitches where he wants them to.
That errant throw getting Alexander aboard. 2 stolen bases and a wild pitch later. The West Division scores. Meanwhile, it's a 3-ball and 2-strike count on Nick Anderson. Runner at second with 1 down. Big swing and a miss. Great breaking ball from Wilkinson. He's got his second strikeout of the inning.
Yeah, great pitch there. off-speed breaking pitch had Anderson way out in front. Nick was certainly in launch mode with that swing.
Well, you know, some people say the home run derby can mess with your swing a little bit. Anderson was in it last night. I think it's more of a conspiracy theory nowadays, or a point of contention at least with the home run derby. Darnell Sweeney at the plate. He takes ball 1.
Well, let's put it this way. He wasn't swinging any less intensely on that particular time.
1-0 pitch to Sweeney is down and in for ball 2. We mentioned this in the pregame show, but Darnell Sweeney, a replacement in the starting lineup for Max Murphy of the Winnipeg Goldeyes, who was voted as the starting outfielder, the reigning player of the year, Max Murphy. 16 home runs on the season, but Sweeney certainly having a great season, and again was in this All-Star game last year as a Kansas City Monarch. That one misses low. The count is 3-0. Sweeney, one of 7 players who are now 2-time All-Stars who were at the game last year in Chicago, and the second among that group who is here with a different team. Of course, joining Josh Altman, who was a Lincoln Salt Dog last year. Funny enough, as the game was hosted in Chicago. This one's hit on the ground to Cambalego. He flips to Wilkinson, and that's out number 3. So the West Division gets on the board thanks to a wild pitch, bringing home Evan Alexander. But the East Division hangs on to their 3-1.
Hey, you! Can we come together? Hey, you!
New Balance, we got now.
Hey, you! Can we come together?
New Balance, we got now.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool. Now we can easily assign chores and the kids get paid for them right away. We can track the earning and spending and even reward them for making good grades all through our phones. So they're learning valuable financial lessons, and I'm getting a clean house.
Learn more about the Mind and Money tool at ECU.com.
Escape to the world's largest illuminated winter wonderland right here on the campus of Ballpark Commons this holiday season. Enchant is coming to Franklin Field, a wondrous light maze adventure featuring the world's largest story-driven light maze, a one-of-a-kind skating trail, Santa visits, and more. Enchant, a spectacular multi-sensory light experience that will transport you to a world of holiday wonder. Get your tickets now because they will sell out. Visit enchantchristmas.com.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Rider chips. Just taking a break.
Welcome back to the 2023 All-Star Game. Bottom of the 4th. New pitcher on the mound for the West Division. From the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks, Reza Aliaziz, right-handed relief pitcher, 6'4". He's going to face Milwaukee Milkman catcher Roy Morales to lead off the inning. Morales on the ground over to first. The flip to Aliaziz is just in time. He beats Morales to the bag for out number 1. So a quick 1-pitch, 1-out for Aliaziz, Portland, Oregon native. Played for the Ogden Raptors of the Pioneer League last season. As
Railroaders designated hitter Hill Alexander steps to the plate. Drew walking his first at bat. He takes a hard fastball outside for ball 1.
Reza originally drafted by the Dodgers back in 2018, coming out of Oklahoma State, and spent 18 and 19 in the Dodgers organization. And as you mentioned, Matt, he pitched with Ogden in 2021, did not play last year, and now pitching for the FM Redhawks, doing pretty well.
That one high makes it a 2-1 count. For those who may not know the Pioneer League, I was with the Boise Hawks last season as their play-by-play broadcaster, and I can speak as Alexander pops that one high in the air. Shortstop Altman is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. I can speak to the Ogden Raptors Stadium, Lindquist Field, and how absolutely gorgeous it is in Ogden, Utah. There are mountains just past center field. It's an incredible play.
A lot of those ballparks in the Pioneer League looks like they've got some great background there, Matt.
A little different nature than here in Milwaukee. So quickly 2 up and 2 down for Aliazis.
We do have Mount Bovine, though, out to our left.
The ski hill here at the Ballpark Commons campus is very popular in the winter. I love the Mount Bovine name. As Mark Carabiotis takes strike 1.
Well, it was Mount Rock, but due to popular demand, the name was changed.
That's awesome. Yeah, it doesn't get as much action here with the beautiful summer weather, but in the winter when it's the baseball offseason, we might have to go skiing or something. That one misses outside. Carabiotis, of course, hit the 2-run mammoth home run out to left field his first time up.
I would say early candidate for game MVP right now.
Absolutely. 1-2 pitch to Carabiotis, misses outside, ball 2.
For a lot of fans who aren't familiar with Franklin Field or the Rock Complex, it's a lot more than just the stadium here.
Absolutely. Would love to dive into that more. Of course, I think this All-Star Game event has been an awesome showcase of the Ballpark Commons campus. That one is on the corner, a called strike 3. Carabiotis goes down. Great 3 up, 3 down inning for Reza Aliazis.
Hey, you! Can we come together?
New Balance, we got now.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool. Now we can easily assign chores and the kids get paid for them right away. We can track their earning and spending and even reward them for making good grades all through our phones. So they're learning valuable financial lessons and I'm getting a clean house.
Learn more about the Mind and Money tool at ECU.com.
Escape to the world's largest illuminated winter wonderland right here on the campus of Ballpark Commons this holiday season. Enchant is coming to Franklin Field, a wondrous light maze adventure featuring the world's largest story-driven light maze, a one-of-a-kind skating trail, Santa visits, and more. Enchant, a spectacular multi-sensory light experience that will transport you to a world of holiday wonder. Get your tickets now because they will sell out. Visit enchantchristmas.com.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
We're out of chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry. My cousin's got a guy.
Welcome back to Franklin Field, top of the 5th, halfway home in this 2023 American Association All-Star Game. New arm on the hill for the East Division is a right-hander. Again, another member of the outstanding King County Cougars starting staff. Jack Fox takes the hill. Dylan Rosa steps in for the West Division as he takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Right-on-right matchup here leading off this fifth as he misses upstairs for ball 2. Jack Fox sitting 4th in the league in earned run average, just above 3.303 earned run average on the season, as that one is swung on and missed for strike 2.
The man out of Emerson College in Boston, Mass.
Swing and a miss, and the count goes to 2-2.
Overall, Jack 5-5 with that 3.03 ERA, 71 and a third inning. So he's been a pretty good workhorse for the Cougars.
That ERA increased a little bit from his last couple starts. He was hovering around that 2 line for a strong portion of this first half, but really has been the leader of that Kane County trio, as that one just misses and the count goes full 3-2.
Dylan Rosa has played 48 games this year, 12 with the Chicago Dogs, coming over from KC.
Swing and a miss. Fox gets Rosa swinging, and that's out number 1.
And so some of the fans might be wondering, well, how come Dylan, if he's playing for an East Division team now, is playing for the West? Well, he was voted in for the West, and again, had played 75% of his games with the Monarchs, but I'm sure it seems a little bit weird now that he's playing for the other division.
So a Chicago Dogs starter is starting for the West Division. Quite the trade. Dogs certainly getting an impactful piece. He hit a couple home runs for Chicago this past weekend. Justin Wiley at the plate, Kansas City Monarchs second baseman, as he fouls that one away. Count goes to 1-1.
So Justin went to Hamilton High School in Chandler, Arizona, I believe it was, and initially began playing for the San Diego State Aztecs during his college career, but finished up with a final season playing for the Arizona Wildcats down in his native state of Tucson, or Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. And he's been a great acquisition for the Monarchs this year.
Very impactful bat at the top of the very, very good Kansas City Monarchs lineup, ranking atop the league in both batting average and OPS as a team. Certainly a impactful bat at the top of the lineup and scoring plenty of runs. Guys like Chris Herman behind him. That one's hit on the ground out to short. Nice and easy play for Josh Altman. Makes the play to first. Bellego has to keep his foot on the bag, and he manages to do so. It's out number 2.
Almost too easy there for Josh. But nice play by Cam. Again, Milkman fans have seen Cam and his work around the bag at first. He's pretty slick, and he did a great job there to keep his foot on the bag, stretch out, and haul that one in.
Mike Hart at the plate, the Sioux Falls Canaries first baseman. Fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. 0 for 1 is Hart. Flew out to left his first time. Oh, 1 big swing and a miss. Hart's trying to do damage up there tonight. Hasn't worked out for him just yet.
You know, Jabari Henry, the legendary all-star for the Canaries, has most of the career records in Sioux Falls, but Mike Hart is probably number 2. This is his 5th season with the Canaries, so he's starting to rack up some big numbers there in his career at Sioux Falls.
Jabari Henry, of course, the all-star hero last year, hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning to put the West Division on top. A 7-6 win for the West last year. As Hart hits this on the ground, Torres ranges to his left, makes the play. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Jack Fox. We head to the bottom of the 5th here from Franklin Field. The East Division leads 3-1 in the American Association.
Wouldn't you like to be sitting on the beach right now, toes in the sand, listening to the waves crashing on the shore while the sun goes down? Or what about cruising the world with your own private balcony, feeling the wind kiss your face? What are you waiting for? There's no time like the present. Give Pioneer Travel a call to book your next vacation. 414-304-5558 for Oak Creek's hometown travel agency.
I said it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes off. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
I like the way you do that right there, right there. Switch your hips when you walk and let down your hair, down your hair. I like the way you do that right there, right there. Lick your lips when you talk and that make me stir.
She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when you turn the spotlights on.
With my earth and the wind, smoke a fire. Let me get your sheets wet, listening to Keith Sweat.
American Association Rookie Pitcher of the Year from the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks, having another outstanding season for the reigning champs.
Now, we just want to mention again that tonight's broadcast is directed and produced by Virch. Virch elevates your broadcast by supplementing your production staff with experienced switchers and operators. The graphics you see in our broadcast are powered by Virch's all-new graphics engine, offering advanced stats and personalized graphics on a budget. Visit www.virch.com to give your fans the next-gen viewing experience.
Blake DeBerry at the plate from the Lake Country Dockhounds. Takes that one for a strike. The count goes to 1-1. Dockhounds third baseman flew out to center his first time up. Thought about that one, but he lets it go for strike two.
Former member of the Sioux City Explorers, Blake DeBerry, but having a great season in Lake Country this year.
I've seen a decent amount of Lake Country representation in the crowd, and I know some of their staff is here. Speaking of the crowd, how about the crowd we've got here tonight? We've got people from all over the league. I know the Railcats have a strong presence here tonight. But
yeah, they didn't bring Rusty, but they brought him most of the other staff, it looks like.
Yeah, what happened there? DeBerry hits one on the ground out to second. Wiley makes the play. He's been busy over there tonight. Makes the play for out number one.
Rusty, of course, is the mascot for the Railcats, so I guess he was busy tonight. But as we talked about, fine representation, half the league with the mascots here. Crowd, I'd say at least a couple thousand here tonight. Nice atmosphere for the game, and they're seeing a good one here so far.
Cam Bellego gets another at bat. Milkman, first baseman, struck out his first time up. And Tom, it's a good time to talk more about the Ballpark Commons campus as well for those tuning in around the league who may not have had the opportunity to visit here. So this has been a great display for not only Franklin Field, a very new and beautiful ballpark, of course. Bellego swings and misses at that one for strike one. But there are multiple establishments around here. The Lux Golf, which is very similar to a Top Golf right behind the stadium. Amazing restaurants, food, and everything around the ballpark as Bellego hits one on the ground to third, and that's going to be out number two. Lloyd makes the play, but speak to that a little bit about what it means, kind of for this Ballpark Commons campus to get this type of display for the All-Star festivities.
Yeah, some great exposure here. It's developed gradually over the years, fifth year of the stadium. We had a lot of the baseball fields here initially before this ballpark was built, 4 regulation fields, a couple other youth fields. But since that time, as you mentioned, we put up the Lux Golf Bay. We put up the Mosh Performance Center, the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Performance Center, largest privately owned indoor athletic building in the state right here on the campus. Of course, we have the world famous Umbrella Bar right in the middle overlooking the the quad area of baseball fields, regulation fields. Very popular establishment, especially in the summer. The ski boarding hill, as you mentioned, and a couple
Mount
of
Bovine, apparently.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
As Jesus Mariaga's at the plate.
And, of course, a new hotel that we can look out in the distance in right center field that is just nearing completion. That'll be open pretty soon.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see as Mariaga has a 2-2 count at the plate. Just the growth and development that is continuing to happen around here. Hotels, apartments, and the Brick Pizzeria restaurant just opened up right next to the doghouse. As Mariaga swings and misses for strike 3. We'll talk a little bit more about the Ballpark Commons campus after the break as the East Division holds their 3-1 lead going to the 6th inning in the 2023 American Association All-Star Game live on AA Baseball TV.
All right, we go to the 6th. And 3-1 is our score with the East on top of the West. Tom Lynn along with Matt Yazel. We've got Chife, Christian Yeager down on the field. Still trying to see if we can bring in Chife. Well, maybe the bottom of this inning, we'll give it a shot, Matt, to see if we can get him. First man up. Drew Devine hits a grounder to third. The throw
tag from Bellego over at first.
Blake Taveri's throw was a little bit up the line, but a nice tag there by Bellego. Let's double check there. I'm not sure that that's Blake Taveri at third base anymore.
Evan Alexander at the plate here with one down.
Evan tonight is 1 for 2. Reached on an infield hit to second his last time up and scored. That is the only run of the contest for the West as they trail it 3-1 here in the 6th inning. Tried to check his swing on the pitch from Weston Muir and apparently was able to do so. Weston Muir, the former UW Whitewater star, 3-2 with a 3.04 ERA in 56 1/3 innings this year. He has been a very solid pitcher for Kane County. born in Colorado, but played his high school ball in St. Charles, Illinois. Check swing, couldn't do it. And Alexander out on strikes. Okay, 2 down. And here is Matt Lloyd.
Matt Lloyd at the plate for his 3rd at-bat of the night. Takes ball up high. And Tom, a point I wanted to bring up for Weston Muir on the hill. I have a connection from my time with the Madison Mallards. Cade Lancor, I'll give Cade a shout out, who was the roommate of Weston Muir at University of Wisconsin Whitewater. Weston Muir, a great career at Whitewater and really came straight to this league from college, which is a little more rare in the American Association compared to some of the other partner leagues. A lot of guys in this league have come from a affiliated ball past and affiliated minor league baseball, as Lloyd takes a 4-pitch walk, so he reaches with 2 down, puts a runner at first. But so something to connect to for the local folks in Wisconsin tuning in tonight. Great arm coming from Whitewater.
Well, Warhawks have had a pretty good program there for a number of years. Weston was the ace of their pitching staff for a couple of seasons and made the transition from going directly from Whitewater to the American Association. Broke it last year with the Cougars and pitched well, and he's picked his game up a notch this year.
Chris Herman at the plate.
Chris tonight, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. There goes the runner. Downstairs and no chance for a throw there. And so Matt Lloyd with a stolen base. Matt with 11 steals and has not been caught during the year. So he's been a pretty efficient base stealer. Weston Muir now all of a sudden trying to find the strike zone as he's 3-0 to Chris Herman. Runner at second, tying run at the plate, and ball 4. Weston Muir all of a sudden has really struggled to find the strike zone. 8 straight balls for Weston. So 2 on, 1 out. And the cleanup man, Nick Anderson, stands in. Now, this guy certainly has the power to flip the score if he gets a hold of one. Curveball and the beauty from Weston Muir. And it's 0-1.
And Nick Anderson really had an outstanding season. And I think maybe for folks just looking around the league, Lincoln, maybe a bit of a surprise late in the first half. That West Division really with Lincoln and Sioux City really getting interesting as he takes strike 2 there. But Fargo, Moorhead, Lincoln, and Sioux City all essentially with the same record with those 2 to 4 spots in the West behind, of course, Kansas City on top. And I think all 3 of those teams are going to have something to say throughout the whole rest of the season.
Going to be a tight race, I think, coming down the stretch for sure there, Matt. Inside.
And a pretty similar story in the East, too, actually. Milwaukee, the hometown Milkmen, have a pretty good lead at the top, but Lake Country has surged into 3rd place. They're right there with Cleburne and Chicago as well. So we've got some great races. Of course, the top 4 make the playoffs in each division. So we've got some awesome races going on right now at the end of this first half.
1-2, and Nick Anderson as he fouls it back. There is certainly nobody who's out of the playoff race. Not saying that everybody has a chance for the division title, but obviously everybody is certainly in the playoff race in both divisions.
And there's no easy game no matter what the standings say in this league, of course.
That's for sure. Anderson, ground ball to the left side. And the throw across is high, but Bellego able to come down and get his foot on the bag before Anderson could get there, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left down. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still the East Division 3, the West Division 1. This is the 2023 American Association All-Star Game on AA Baseball TV.
About our designer kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams? I just
We go to the bottom of the 6th. East All-Stars leading the West All-Stars 3-1. And a new pitcher on for the West All-Stars will be the Southpaw Trey Jeans. And he'll be facing top of the order for the East, starting with second baseman Brian Torres. Brian 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored back in the first. The East getting 1 in the first, 2 in the second on a 2-run homer by Mark Karaviotis. The West with 1 in the top of the 4th. And that's been the only scoring as Torres fouls down. So pitching mostly dominating up to this point. But we still got a ways to go. Swing and a miss. Trey Jeans with a high fastball that Torres came up empty. Tom Wynn along with Matt Yazel bringing you this All-Star contest from Franklin Field, the Shrine of Bovine, as that one fouled back by Torres. At the American Association luncheon earlier today, Matt, we had 4 new inductees into the American Association Hall of Fame. Check swing, that one is going to go foul. It was Ed Noddle, Doug Simonik, Reggie Abercrombie, and Mike Veck, the class of 2023. Inside. 2-2. Let's send it down to Chife.
Go Chife.
All right, thanks, Chief.
I think we had some audio issues there once again, so sorry to Chife, but he's had some great chats with Anthony Barone a couple times down there. So apologies for that. Zach Derrier is at the plate.
Pitches down low. Well, of course, Chife gets to talk with Anthony every time the Milkmen play here. So
Anthony's up for it. He's great.
Oh, Anthony is tremendous. He is absolutely tremendous. The manager of the Milkmen and managing this East Division squad. In fact, you probably have two of the most affable, loquacious managers in the league. And Anthony Barone.
That wasn't on my broadcast vocabulary for tonight.
Anthony and, of course, Chris Coast from the FM Redhawks managing the West. Well, Zach Nerrier standing in. Last night's home run derby champion, 0 for 2 with a ground out to second and a strikeout swinging. Lights are just starting to come on here at Franklin Field.
For those listening on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can go to, I know our Facebook Live for sure has the home run derby broadcast from last night, and you got to go tune in to what Zach Nerrier did. We, of course, posted it on our Twitter page as well with the league at AA Baseball, but he put on a show. And he had to fight through his bat breaking in that last round.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Bat broke, had to call an early timeout. So he was really pushing the envelope, stamina-wise toward the end of that session. But he was able to pump out 16, which was the high among any of the rounds last night. And he needed just about every one of them because Connor Panis came back with 14 in his half of the round. Josh Altman. No, check that. That is now Gabriel Cancel, who has come into play shortstop. So Altman finishing 0 for 2 tonight, although he did drive in a run with a ground out. Cancel with a little looper to center field. And coming on to make the catch, Alexander, that retires the side. So Trey Jeans works 1, 2, 3.
Oh! I said it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes off. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
I like the way you do that right there, right there. Switch your hips when you walk and let down your hair, down your hair. I like the way you do that right there, right there. Lick your lips when you're talking, that make me stir.
She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard, run it down the spotlights on.
Put my earth in the wind, smoke a fire. Let me get your sheets wet, listening to keep sweat.
About our designer kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams?
All right, we go to the 7th inning. And the next pitcher up for the East Division is right-hander Joe Corbett from the Cleveland Railroaders. Facing the switch-hitting Darnell Sweeney to begin the 7th. The East All-Stars still leading the West 3-1. Game moving along here at Franklin Field. And check the swing. Apparently did so.
Tom, Joe Corbett, 51 strikeouts in just 26 2/3 innings pitched on the season. Nearly 2 strikeouts an inning. He's got a flamethrower fastball.
Sure does. Fly ball hit to left field, and that's going to go. Flamethrower fastball, but Sweeney was ready for it that time.
Turned it around.
And we now have a 1-run ball game. Darnell Sweeney, the 2-time All-Star, now playing for the Sioux Falls Canaries, and he launches one out of here to make it 3-2 in favor of the East. Again, wind not gusting out to left field, but enough to certainly help that one. Darnell, 13 homers during the regular season. Next man up is Dylan Rosa, the DH.
It worked when he was up here, but then when he went down there.
Swing and a miss there. 96 from Joe Corbett. We are in the 7th here at Franklin Field. Swing and a fly ball deep to left, and the West almost tied it up. Boy, deep in left center. I'll tell you, when that ball left the bat on De La Rosa, I thought we had a tie game here, Matt.
I did too. They're seeing something good with this fastball from Joe Corbett. Darnell Sweeney with a big swing. He has 13 home runs on the year to Sweeney, and Rosa's had a great year as well with both Kansas City and Chicago. Justin Wiley steps to the plate.
Justin, the second baseman, is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out to shortstop. So we've had 2 home runs here tonight. Sweeney with the solo shot leading off this inning. Mark Karaviotis with the 2-run blast for the East back in the 2nd. Big swing and a miss there. Justin Wiley, 5 home runs on the season, playing for the Monarchs. Strike called. And their ballpark, I would say pretty hitter-friendly, Legends Field in KC. However, again, the Monarchs usually have a pretty good lineup they run out there, so that probably makes it more hitter-friendly. Fly ball to right field. And coming in to make the catch, that's not Mariaga out there in right field anymore. Still trying to see who we've got out there, Matt, that came into the game. Nick Banks making the catch. Nick from the Lake Country Dockhounds. And interesting with Nick Banks, as Mike Hart now enters the box, this might be his last professional game ever here tonight.
Yeah, Nick Banks recently announcing that his career will be coming to a close. I understand he has, I believe, a new child, which played a big part in that decision. But his last game with the Dockhounds this past Sunday in Chicago, he drove home 2 runs as Cruz hits one on the ground off of Corbett. He looks all right. Torres makes the play for out number 3.
So that'll be a 1-4-3 on that play, and that retires the side. The West gets a little closer. Leadoff home run from
Hey, you! Can we come together? Hey, you!
New New Balance we got now.
Hey you! Can we come together?
New Balance we got now.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool. Now we can easily assign chores and the kids get paid for them right away. We can track the earning and spending and even reward them for making good grades all through our phones. So they're learning valuable financial lessons and I'm getting a clean house.
Learn more about the Mind and Money tool at ECU.com.
Escape to the world's largest illuminated winter wonderland right here on the campus of Ballpark Commons this holiday season. Enchant is coming to Franklin Field, a wondrous light maze adventure featuring the world's largest story-driven light maze, a one-of-a-kind skating trail, Santa visits, and more. Enchant, a spectacular multi-sensory light experience that will transport you to a world of holiday wonder. Get your tickets now because they will sell out. Visit enchantchristmas.com.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Rider chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry. My cousin's got a guy.
Hey, I'm not sure I can help you with the house gas, but I can help you replace this window fast.
Let the experts at Feldco kickstart your summer with 2-for-1 windows and no interest until 2025. Plus, we'll get it done Feldco fast.
Bottom of the 7th, 3-2. The East Division still clinging to the lead over the West. And Ryan Lidge stepping in for his first at-bat of the night, hitting in the number 4 slot, which was originally occupied by Roy Morales. Takes the first pitch up high. This is Grant Gavin now on the mound. Another Kansas City Monarch. Ryan Lidge from the Chicago Dogs. Barrington, Illinois native who played at Notre Dame. Cousin of former MLB relief pitching stalwart Brad Lidge. From mostly from the first decade of this century. But some pretty good baseball bloodlines there in that Lidge extended family.
Absolutely, and Lidge, a veteran in this league now, one of that group of 7 players who is now a 2-time All-Star, got to represent his hometown Dogs last year at Impact Field, having another great year as the backstop in Chicago.
Little bouncer to first. Matt Lloyd, who's now over at first base, makes the toss to Gavin. So Ryan Lidge goes out 3-1. That is now 16 East Division hitters retired in a row by West pitching. They have just totally shut down the East Division offense since the second inning. LG Castillo now enters the batter's box. He takes over for Hill Alexander as the DH.
Castillo, Tom, the last man in, voted into the All-Star game by the fans. Pretty fun vote that we had in our league. He was up against a player from each of the other teams in the East Division. Castillo.
And
all right, we're going to send it over to Chife on the field once again. All right, I think we tried one more time with Chief. Not sure if it worked out on the broadcast, unfortunately, as Castillo struck out.
Well, we can't say Chief hasn't been trying tonight.
Unfortunately.
That's for sure.
You'll have to tune into more Milkman games to hear the great work Chief does. Unfortunately, not working out tonight.
Well, and interesting as well, Matt, I don't know if a lot of our viewers know this, but both you and Chief are graduates of Madison La Follette High School.
Yeah, shout out to Madison La Follette, Lancer Pride, for any Lancers tuning in tonight.
Fly ball hit to left field, and that one is going to be caught as Mark Garaviotis flies out to left field. Mark now 1 for 3 tonight. He had the big 2-run home run in the second inning, which right now is the difference in the ball game. The East goes in order again for the 5th consecutive inning. The West pitching staff has retired the last 8.
2-for-1 windows won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Wouldn't you like to be sitting on the beach right now, toes in the sand, listening to the waves crashing on the shore while the sun goes down? Or what about cruising the world with your own private balcony, feeling the wind kiss your face? What are you waiting for? There's no time like the present. Give Pioneer Travel a call to book your next vacation. 414-304-5558, Oak Creek's hometown travel agency.
I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
I like the way you do that right there, right there. Switch your hips when you walk and let down your hair, down your hair. I like the way you do that right there, right there. Lick your lips when you talk and that make me stir.
Wide open, streets so much, all up in the ocean. Like I ain't taking. She moves her body like a cyclone, and she makes me wanna do it all night long. Going hard when they turn the spotlights on.
Put my earth in the wind, smoke a fire. Let me get your sheets wet, listening to keep sweat.
Hey, Tom. Vision dugout, Chief, color broadcaster. Who you got?
You around somewhere. I had Ryan Zimmerman along.
Put up a 0. Having a lot of fun, so everything's been great. It's a super fun experience for everybody. Good to get to know the other guys from around the league, so it's been awesome.
All right, we got Chief for a second there, Tom. But
is that Ryan Zimmerman? I think he was talking with. Well, meanwhile, Frankie Bartow comes on the pitch here at the start of the 8th inning and facing Connor Panis, pinch hitting for the shortstop Drew Devine. Connor, one of the finalists in last night's home run derby, and he pops out to third for the first out here in the 8th inning. 3-2, the East leading the West. Tight one here in the 2023 American Association All-Star Game. Vince Fernandez now batting for the first time as he takes over on the leadoff slot for Evan Alexander. Evan tonight, 1 for 3. Had an infield hit, a couple of stolen bases, and scored on a wild pitch sandwich between a couple of Ks. Here's Vince Fernandez from the Sioux City Explorers out of Cal Riverside. Vince, another participant in the Home Run Derby last night.
Really been a strong leader for Sioux City offensively. The Explorers, a bit of a pitching-heavy team. I believe they're second in the league in team ERA as we sit at the end of this first half. But offensively, Fernandez has really led the way in a lot of, they've won a lot of close, low-scoring games, and a lot of times he's been the difference and a huge reason why the end of the first half on a very strong note.
Fly ball into short left center field. And coming on is the center fielder to make the catch, Zach Narrier. 2 down.
Sioux City had an 8-game win streak, the longest of the season just a couple of weeks ago. Had it snapped by Lake Country, who was almost just as hot at the time.
And I think that's going to be it for Frankie Bartow.
Well, Bartow gets 2 outs.
2 outs, and I believe we're going to have Daniel Bees from King County coming in. We'll keep it right here, though. And again, with the score 3-2 in favor of the East Division.
Got to get all those arms in, Tom, in an all-star game.
Oh, no question about it. So here comes Daniel Bees, who has had a fine season pitching out of the bullpen for the Cougars.
Yeah, with all those starters in Kane County, you can't forget about Daniel Bees as been certainly one of the best closers in the league this season. He's been near perfect in the back end of that Cougars bullpen, a reason why they have also won a good amount of those close games, of course, because of the starters, but you got to have somebody at the back end as well, and Bees has done a great job for the Cougars.
So he takes over for Frankie Bartow. Frank, another member of the Milkmen pitching staff, who has done a fine job this year. All the Milkmen starters really have been pretty consistent this season. That's one of the reasons why the Milkmen have had such a fine first half of the season at 35-22. Frankie, in his second year with the Milkmen, former Washington Nationals prospects, and was converted from a reliever to a starter. Prior to this year, Matt, he had not ever started a professional game. And, boy, he jumped into the starting rotation like he's been doing it all his life.
Absolutely.
Now,
and
Daniel
turned himself into the second best pitcher in that Milkman rotation behind the all-star starter in Christian Young, those two forming quite the duo. But as you mentioned, quite the rotation in general. I mentioned Sioux City second in team ERA. They're second to Milwaukee, who is right around that 4 mark as a team, which is remarkable given especially this league, a very talented offensive league. So the Milkmen, another team winning with their pitching staff first and foremost.
So Daniel Bees, the big right-hander, one of the biggest players in the league, 6'8", 250 out of Gonzaga University. Used to be in the Yankees organization. In fact, he was a 7th-round draft choice of the Yankees back in the 2018 MLB draft. And first time back pitching professionally since the 2019 season. So it's been a pretty good return to the mound for Daniel Bees, pitching for the Cougars. He's facing Matt Lloyd. Pitch down low. Now, Lloyd representing the tying run. Here's a guy certainly who has the power to tie this thing up. 10 homers on the year for Matt. He has been an excellent addition to Sioux City and putting up some great numbers. Even though he missed a couple of weeks earlier this season, he was playing with the Canadian team in the Pan American qualifying down in South America. So he had to leave the Explorers for a couple of weeks. But still putting up some big numbers in Sioux City. And, as you kind of alluded to, Matt, that is not an overly hitter-friendly ballpark in there. Definitely more pitcher-friendly than hitter-friendly.
Absolutely. And, I talked about Vince Fernandez, of course, but Matt Lloyd certainly forming quite the partnership in that Sioux City lineup. And, again, really, we got to get people to tune into that West Division. I think everybody sort of assumes it's Kansas City and Fargo-Moorhead at the top. And, of course, those two teams have had some good battles. But Sioux City is in it after they had a hot start, maybe struggled for a bit there. But they're back in it, and it's going to be really fun to watch them.
Pop up right side, Brian Torres, the second baseman there to make it. So Daniel Bees retires the only man he faces after Frankie Bartow knocked down the first two. 3 up, 3 down.
Right at chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry. My cousin's got a guy.
Hey, I'm not sure I can help you with the house gas, but I can help you replace this window fast.
Let the experts at Feldco kickstart your summer with 2-for-1 windows and no interest until 2025. Plus, we'll get it done Feldco fast.
2-for-1 windows won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Wouldn't you like to be sitting on the beach right now, toes in the sand, listening to the waves crashing on the shore while the sun goes down? Or what about cruising the world with your own private balcony, feeling the wind kiss your face? What are you waiting for? There's no time like the present. Give Pioneer Travel a call to book your next vacation. 414-304-5558 for Oak Creek's hometown travel agency.
I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
I like the way you do that right there. Right there. Switch your hips when you walk and let down your hair. Down your hair. I like the way you do that right there. Right there. Lick your lips when you talk and that make me stir.
Okay, we go to the bottom of the 8th. And, of course, another new pitcher on. This will be Samuel Adames from the Winnipeg Goldeyes. And to take you through this bottom of the 8th, once again, here is Matt Yazel.
Thanks, Tom. Adames, great reliever this season up in Winnipeg. First pitch he throws, though. That's hit right back up the middle by, looks like, Matt Botcher. And his first at-bat of the night, the Chicago Dogs infielder. He reaches with a leadoff single on the first pitch he sees.
So he was hitting in the slot that Blake Taveri was, number 7 slot. And Matty Botcher.
Botcher been up towards the top of the league in batting average this season as well. Has won Player of the Week once this season. Cambalego at the plate. Milkman first baseman, 0 for 2. He takes that one inside for ball 1.
And by the way, that was the first man to reach for the East Division since back in the 2nd inning.
Botcher runs on the pitch. It's outside, but Botcher slides in safely with a stolen base.
And that could be potentially a huge insurance run out there at second base for the East.
2-0 count for Bellego. I believe that's the 5th stolen base of the night. Close play at second as the pitch misses. Puts the count to 3 balls and no strikes.
So that was 18 batters in a row retired by the West pitching staff until Botcher had the single to lead off this inning.
Big swing from Bellego on a 3-0 count. He fouls it away. So just to recap for you, the East scoring a run right away in the first, an RBI ground out from Josh Altman. Then a Mark Caraviota's 2-run home run in the bottom of the second put them up 3-0. And they have not scored since. As that one misses high and inside, it's ball 4. Cambalego draws a walk, puts runners at first and second with nobody out.
Now, I hesitate to say, Matt, in an all-star game, but do you possibly bunt in this situation?
Oh,
Regular
man.
season, no doubt, with the number 9 guy coming up. But I don't know about an all-star game.
Yeah, I think you'd have to do some convincing to get someone to lay a bunt down with their family here in the all-star game. Swing and a drive out to right. And that's going to be caught for out number 1. That was Nick Banks at the plate. Lake Country right fielder taking a hack at the first pitch. And that's going to be out number 1.
He gave it a pretty good ride.
He did.
Just couldn't quite get enough of it to get it out of there. So I guess that answers the question. will he ask an all-star to
Yeah, especially if this is Nick Banks' final career game. Don't think bunting was in the plans for Mr. Banks this evening. Brian Torres at the plate, first and second, 1 down. First pitch fastball is outside for ball 1.
Well, again, Nick, the former star from Texas A&M University, wish him all the best. And hopefully he has some good memories from the all-star experience here in Milwaukee.
Absolutely. Regardless of the results of the game, of course, you get to bring your family here, your loved ones, and get to celebrate really what a season it's been for you. That's what this event is all about, as fun as the actual competition is. It's a celebration of what the season has been and what it will be. As Torres rips one into center field, a base hit. Botcher's rounding third and coming home to score. The throw is cut off. Brian Torres brings another one home for the East with an RBI single.
And the crowd at Franklin Field loving that as BT comes through, as he has so many times here for the Milkmen at Franklin Field. This time he does it for the East Division All-Stars. Nice hustle by Botcher. No hesitation at all. He was coming all the way and able to get in there with the 4th run of the night.
A huge insurance run for the East Division delivered by Brian Torres. Zach Narrier now at the plate. Big swing is strike 1. First and third with 1 down. Torres played a big part at the top of that East lineup. He scored the first run thanks to a stolen base. And the RBI ground out from Josh Altman, and now he drives home another as Narrier rips that one foul down the right field line.
Well, we'll see perhaps if maybe Brian is on the move again. Again, the league's leader in stolen bases, 41 coming into the All-Star break. And he did get one in the first inning.
A guy who I mentioned in the pregame show, but Anthony Barone says is the best player in the league. He has said that many times as Narrier takes a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike 3. A great pitch from Adames on the outside corner for out number 2. But Brian Torres, a guy who doesn't always make the headlines. He has 4 home runs on the season, both of which have come in 2 separate home run games, which is interesting to note as Gabriel Cancel steps to the plate for the East Division and takes strike 1. But Torres certainly a unique player and one of the best this league has to offer, just in a little bit of a different style compared to some of these other All-Stars on the field. Big swing, and that's fouled away for strike 2.
Well, Brian has certainly had a great career since coming to the Milkmen. Keep in mind that he was actually in the Milwaukee Brewers organization when he began his professional career. He came to the Milkmen after 1 year in the Giants organization playing at Richmond in 2021.
0-2 pitch to Cancel is fouled away.
And Torres was running there and probably would have had it stolen had Cancel not fouled it down. Well, you know, Brian Torres now probably has to factor into the MVP discussion, I would think, Matt.
Absolutely. And again, you know, he's a different style of player than some other guys. Chris Herman's going to be up there with the home runs and the RBIs. Brian Torres is a leadoff hitter. He's going to score a lot more runs, reach base a lot more often as he goes there. Cancel hits it on the ground out to short. Dexter's got it. He throws to first. And that's in time for out number 3. But Brian Torres drives home the 4th run of the night for the East with an RBI single. He gives the East Division a 2-run cushion as they lead 4-2, heading to the 9th here from Franklin Field. It's the 2023 All-Star.
New Balance, we got now.
New Balance, we got now.
At the Butler household, we celebrate a little differently. That's been happening a lot more lately, thanks to Educators Credit Union and their new Mind and Money tool. Now we can easily assign chores and the kids get paid for them right away. We can track the earning and spending and even reward them for making good grades all through our phones. So they're learning valuable financial lessons and I'm getting a clean house.
Learn more about the Mind and Money tool at ECU.com.
Escape. The East Division All-Stars leading the West Division All-Stars 4-2 in the 2023 American Association All-Star Game. And it's time for the Gray Ghost. Peyton Gray, the closer for the Milwaukee Milkmen, native of Columbus, Indiana. And he will be facing 3, 4, and 5 to try to knock this one down for the East. BJ Lopez, who took over for Chris Herman behind the plate.
Puerto Rican catcher for the Red Hawks.
Bounce it is short. Cancel fires across. 1 out. Got to look at that arm of Gabriel Cancel. He's got a real cannon over there. So BJ Lopez is retired to begin the 9th inning. And let's see who we have stepping in there now. This was the number 4 spot, cleanup spot by Nick Anderson initially. So
Gavin Collins, the last man in the West Division, as mentioned earlier, got voted in by the fans.
So great to see Gavin get a
the
chance to hit.
Second Monarchs catcher here representing the Kansas City Monarchs. So quite the backstop duo they've got down there in Kansas City.
Yeah, between him and Chris Herman, that's an outstanding duo. I would put Roy Morales and Campbell from the Milkmen as one of the top duos as well. But, boy, there's no question. When you have a team with 2 all-star catchers, you're usually in pretty good shape. And both those teams certainly are. So we're going to fly ball center field. Narrier goes back and makes the catch. 2 down. So Collins hit it well, but directly to the center fielder. And here we go now, the last hope for the West Division.
Oh, how about this? Correll Prime step into the plate.
Corell Prime.
Milkman.
So here comes Corell, who played with the Milkmen last season, back with the FM Redhawks this year. The Shohei Ohtani of the American Association this year. Corell's been doing it both ways. facing his teammate from last season, Peyton Gray. Took something off that one, fouled it down, and it's 0-2 now to Prime Time. Correll Prime.
Correll Prime, the story of the offseason, the trade that sent him to Fargo-Moorhead, Drew Ward to here in Milwaukee.
One of the biggest off-season deals in the American Association.
And he's gotten the opportunity on the mound in the Red Hawks starting rotation. He's taken advantage of it. Been really, really fun to watch. Trying to keep his team alive.
Strike 3 called. Peyton Gray with the slider caught the outside corner. And that will do it as the East All-Stars defeat the West by the final score of 4-2 here at Franklin Field. Peyton Gray puts him down in order to get the save here in the 9th. We will take a break and then come back and wrap it up. Don't go anywhere, fans. We've got the MVP presentation, among other things, coming up. Our final score here tonight. East All-Stars 4, the West All-Stars 2. This is the American Association All-Star Game on AA Baseball TV.
All right. We are here at home plate. Who is the American Association All-Star Game MVP?
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Bo, what do you think? No, it's not you, Bovine. No. You actually had to play in the game.
I believe every lie that I ever told.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the American Association revealing our MVP, Mr. Josh Shaw. Josh?
Thank you, Van. Thank you, fans. Thank you, fans, for coming out. 2023 All-Star Game. Thank you. And now for the MVP. Your 2023 American Association All-Star Game MVP, Brian Torres of your Milwaukee Milkmen.
Your American Association All-Star Game MVP from your Milwaukee Milkmen, #1, Brian Torres. Brian, congratulations, Brian, #1. What a special event here hosting the All-Star Game, no?
That's right. I feel amazing to be part of this All-Star Game. More here in Milwaukee, I feel like at home. It's an honor to be part of this and be with all these guys, great guys right here, and I feel great.
We got to talk about the fans here today. What an amazing showing of support. Every time we brought you up, they went crazy.
That's right. I see fans from all over the teams right here, and it feels great. It feels great that the fans keep supporting the American Association.
Your MVP, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up that trophy, Brian. Mr. Brian Torres. Back up to you, Tom. Back up to you, Matt.
Okay, thanks, Van. And again, congratulations to Brian Torres from the hometown Milwaukee Milkmen winning the Most Valuable Player Award. And it was probably a tight one, I'm thinking, Matt, because Mark Carviotis, who had the big 2-run home run earlier for the East Division, was probably our front runner going into the bottom of the 8th inning. And then Brian Torres coming through with a huge RBI single. Big insurance run for the East. Let's put it honestly, offense was hard to come by tonight. Pitching
very tough
for both sides was very tough. So Torres, one of the few guys, the only man in this contest to have a multiple hit game on either side. There was only 7 hits combined on each side. The East, 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 left on. The West, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on. Again, tight ball game, pitching dominated, defense factoring in as well. Nice crowd, nice evening. Overall, just I think a great game and a great couple of days here for the American Association.
Absolutely. What an incredible event this was here in Milwaukee at the Ballpark Commons campus. It was really a display of what a great first half this was in the American Association, the talent that is in this league, and the amazing facilities we have here in this league. And a competitive game to end it here on Tuesday night is the perfect way to go out. And Brian Torres representing the hometown Milwaukee Milkmen with an incredible night, finishing it all out. So really, overall, an awesome couple of days here from Franklin Field. It was a pleasure to be out here and join you all and have all of our league staff here and really make it an awesome event. So really, it's just got me pumped up even more for the second half and the playoffs we've got coming up. So make sure to follow along with the season. But overall, an awesome event and pleasure to be here.
Before we wrap it up, once again, I want to let the fans know tonight's broadcast is directed and produced by Virch. Virch elevates your broadcast by supplementing your production staff with experienced switchers and operators. The graphics you see on our broadcast are powered by Virch's all-new graphics engine, offering advanced stats and personalized graphics on a budget. Visit www.virch.com to give your fans the next-gen viewing experience. So I think all in all, the game capped off just a great couple of days here in Franklin, and certainly sets the stage for a great second half of the season here in the American Association. As you talked about, Matt, some great races, both divisions. Nobody out of the playoff race for sure. Top 4 in each division can qualify. Everybody is certainly still in it. Milwaukee in the East and Kansas City in the West are the 2 top dogs right now. But you've got probably really everybody else who's contention for the playoffs, and nobody discounting the defending champion Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks either, for sure. So should be a lot of great action coming down the second stretch. And again, it was great to have you on board, and continued success. Really love the whip-arounds.
Thank you.
Just some great feedback from the fans, and really one of the great features in the American Association media
All-Star
coverage
break
this year.
worked out great for me in my first year with the league. I had to travel about 20 minutes
Yeah,
versus some of the other guys in the league traveling from Minnesota and all over places. So it's a pleasure to have it here in the great city of Milwaukee or the surrounding Milwaukee area. And yeah, again, can't wait to bring all the content for the rest of the season. Make sure to tune in to the show and to all of our broadcasts, including the great broadcast here in Milwaukee at aabaseball.tv. It should be an awesome ride to the end of September when a new Miles Wolf Cup champion will be crowned.
So that'll wrap it up here from Franklin Field. Once again, our final score tonight in the 2023 American Association All-Star Game. It was the East All-Stars 4, the West All-Stars 2. Our thanks again to everybody involved in the production. For Matt Yazel and Chief Christian Yeager, Tom Wynn wishing you a good one, and we will talk to you when the regular season resumes on Thursday night. You've been watching the American Association All-Star Game on AA Baseball TV.